Meanwhile, Hillary Clinton trying to keep the focus on the economy, but Congress, well, they're not letting go of the email issue. The FBI is expected to release the notes from that Hillary Clinton interview this week. Republican Congressman Lee Zeldin is among the lawmakers who's demanding answers. Now, Congressman, obviously, we know that this is just the notes. There were no official transcripts. And so I'm not sure there's a little bit of mixed or caged anticipation of what this will yield. Do you think it's going to be enough to give the American public the answers we so desperately want?
Well, I think that it would be helpful for the American public to know what those details are. Right now, the American public is very much in the dark, and actually with more questions than answers. After the FBI made a recommendation not to go after Hillary Clinton, not to recommend that the Department of Justice prosecute her, we are hearing all across this country, it's not just from Republicans, but from Democrats as well, who are greatly concerned that Hillary Clinton broke the law. And while today we're having this conversation right now on air, there are defendants all across this country walking into courtrooms for a lot less. So the entire integrity of our justice system is at stake for the future of our country. It's etched in stone on the Department of Justice building in Washington, D.C. When the law ends, tyranny begins. And right now, people are greatly questioning the integrity, not just of our highly classified information, our leadership in the State Department, that process, but also the justice system.
So Representative Zeldin, what would you be looking for? In other words, would it be sort of contradictions between the notes and Comey's official assessment at this point, or maybe even evidence that certain things might have been left out, of Comey's commentary, maybe inadvertently or whatever?
Well, there may be substantiation that Hillary Clinton did, in fact, lie to Congress, lie to the American public. As far as that piece of it goes, Director Comey's testimony to the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee indicated that they haven't yet investigated that part of this case. With regards to what has been investigated, there may be substantiation that Hillary Clinton did, in fact, violate statutes and I already believe that Hillary Clinton did violate certain statutes where people are talking about intent, but there isn't an intent written into the elements of that crime.
Right.
So you might see some substantiation on what the FBI says that she didn't violate, as well as substantiation with regards to what the FBI hasn't yet investigated.
You know, you got to wonder if the Democrats are a little worried because President Bill Clinton certainly not doing Hillary any favors, smacking down Comey's investigation. Take a listen to this.
The FBI director said when he testified before Congress, he had to amend his previous day's statement that she had never received any emails marked classified. They saw two little notes with a C on it. This is the biggest load of bull I ever heard.
All right, Congressman. What do you make of Bill Clinton's assessment of it all?
Well, obviously, he is spinning reality to help his wife's candidacy for President of the United States. We were just talking last week about a nuclear scientist who was executed by the Iranians there were emails on Hillary's private server, emails that were marked unclassified. This process goes beyond just the classification of the emails. Obviously, that is a hugely important part of this. But while Hillary Clinton is running to be the next president of the United States, the fact that she can't get a job working in the file room of the FBI is something that may concern a whole lot of other people, even if it's not concerning former President Bill Clinton.
Before I let you go, essentially, I think for the American public is the issue that the Clintons have always somewhat been above the law or been able to ignore just standard rules that apply to everyone else. Would you say that certain type of arrogance and carelessness is equivalent to committing a deliberate act of espionage or doing something with criminal intent?
Well, I don't know if I would say it's the same thing, but they are both hugely significant, hugely important. The Clintons have for decades operated above the law in many ways. We've seen it both on the criminal side and the civilian side. We have seen limits tested, whether it was the Clintons time in the White House or the relationship after that in becoming filthy rich off of milking donors all across the globe while Hillary Clinton was the Secretary of State. They do find themselves to be above the law, and it's something that causes a lot of resentment when people are in court this morning because they got caught making a right on red and got caught by some camera, some video that got them, but it didn't get Hillary Clinton for a lot more.
Representative Zeldin, thank you very much. Really appreciate it.